What if I gave you a chance right now to start your life over with all your knowledge wiped clean? History, math, economics, law, psychology, everything forgotten. But in exchange, you get to choose what to learn all over again. What would you study? This question sounds like a thought experiment, but in reality, it's closer to real life than you might think. Because today, we make this choice almost every single day. You pick up your phone, someone tells you AI is the future, learn it or get left behind. You scroll through a few videos, someone else says, ordinary people must understand investing, or your wealth will never keep up with inflation. You keep scrolling. Psychology, law, history, business, coding, philosophy. In every field, someone is telling you, this is essential knowledge for every adult. So we start to feel afraid. Afraid we know too little. Afraid we'll miss the next big opportunity. And most of all, afraid that one day we'll suddenly realize we can no longer keep up with the world. But here's the strange thing. Knowledge has never been easier to access, yet we've never been more anxious. 20 years ago, if you wanted to learn economics, you might have had to go to a library and check out a thick textbook. Today, you just open a search bar, and in seconds, you have hundreds of articles, thousands of videos, and you can even ask AI to summarize an entire book in 5 minutes. Logically, we should be feeling more and more at ease. But the reality is exactly the opposite. We buy more and more courses. Our bookmarks pile higher and higher. Months later, it's still sitting there quietly in your watch later list. It's not because you're lazy. It's because your brain is already surrounded by too many things you should be learning. There's a concept in psychology called cognitive load. You learn a little finance today, a little history tomorrow. You dive into AI the day after. And on the weekend, you binge a bunch of psychology videos. A month later, you feel like you've been productive every single day. But when someone actually asks you, so what does economics really study? You realize all you have in your head are a few scattered keywords. It feels like you know a little bit about everything, but you can't properly explain any of it. This isn't because you're not smart enough. It's because the internet is cutting knowledge into pieces. This content certainly has value, but it's more like individual puzzle pieces. Without a map, no amount of puzzle pieces will ever add up to a complete picture of the world. The real problem has never been that we have too little knowledge. It's that our knowledge is too fragmented. So we've been asking the wrong question all along. We keep asking, what else don't I know? But what's actually worth thinking about is a different question entirely. What knowledge does an average adult really need to live a good life? Notice I said live a good life. Not become an expert, not get perfect grades, and certainly not win an argument at the dinner table. Because in this world, most areas of knowledge are already handled by specialists. We don't need to train ourselves to be walking encyclopedias. What really matters is that when this specialized knowledge intersects with your life, you can understand what they're saying and you know how to make good judgments. That's the real meaning of common sense. It's not about making you know more. It's about helping you make fewer costly mistakes when it counts. What truly determines a person's level of understanding isn't how much information they know. It's whether they have a stable framework for thinking. So here's the question. If a person can only seriously study a limited number of fields in their lifetime, which areas of knowledge are actually most worth the time? In the next section, we'll stop talking in abstract terms. Instead, we'll discuss the 5 knowledge frameworks an average adult should truly build, and exactly how far you need to go in each field before it's enough.